my name is Liz from Elizziebooks, and today I am interviewing Richelle Mead. She wrote The Glittering Court. Did you want to talk about The Glittering Court a little bit?
Yeah, so The Glittering Court is my newest work, and it's a departure from some of my previous books, but I think there are some elements, especially with fun characters, people will love. It's set in a world that I have made up, but it's sort of meant to resemble Elizabethan England and early colonial America, so it's not a true historical, but I certainly took inspiration from that. And the premise is that there's this school/business where common girls are taken and trained up to be ladies and then shipped across the sea in the hopes of making advantageous marriages with wealthy men. So it follows three girls. They are friends, and they go off to this new land, and then they sort of start breaking rules and making their own choices. They get caught up with heretics and spies and pirates and all sorts of good stuff like that. And what's really fun is that it's a trilogy, and each book is told from a different girl's point of view. They're not sequential. They actually, the next book resets, and you find out what one girl's side of the story was. And so you can read any of them in any order. You've got a complete story, but when you read them all together, you'll find out all sorts of cool secret things.
Yeah, because that's one of my favorite things about this book is that you have like a few different characters that aren't just like the main character, that give you kind of like an interesting story that you're like, I wonder what happened with that person. So,
yeah, because you can tell there's mysterious stuff going on with that. It's not like I left you hanging. I mean, there's a reason for it.
Yeah,
so.
there's girls like sneaking out and doing some stuff that you're like, what happened to them? But it's a lot of fun, and it feels like a complete like book for each day. So as far as picking a fantasy world over doing like historical, like was there a reason for doing that?
I did it. I mean, I love all sorts of genres. I'm certainly not confined to any one. Historical, I guess I'm not diligent enough with research to have done a true historical. I'm sure I would have botched all sorts of things. So this was kind of a fun mix. It's my own world, but I got to highlight some cool things from history that I love. There's some adult authors that have done this, Jacqueline Carey, Guy Gabriel Kay, fantasy worlds, but you'll definitely kind of see where they took inspiration from, and that was kind of what I was going for.
So since we're at BookCon today, do you have any book recommendations that you would like to share?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've read a book. I'm so busy with kids and writing, but I'm currently listening to an audiobook in my car, which is Bloodline by Claudia Gray. And it's set in the Star Wars universe, which is super cool. It takes place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and follows Princess Leia and a lot of political stuff going on that kind of preps you for the new trilogy, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love Princess Leia, so I definitely need to check that out.
She was my childhood idol.
Oh,
so.
yeah. So, some fun questions. Is there a favorite place that you like to travel to?
Boy, travel is so tough with me. I travel all the time, but so much of it is for work. In the last 6 weeks, I've been to 11 cities for this new book, and I was probably in each one for 24 hours, so it's rough. Like, I don't get to see them. I went to Anchorage, Alaska for this tour first time. That was super fun. Just a lot of cool stuff to see there. My last true vacation, I'd say, was about 5 years ago. I went to Roswell, New Mexico for their UFO festival, and